So the ignorance jumped out, and I'm here to make sure that it jumps back in.
I'm the librarian, and I came to read.
So if you've been paying attention to like any social media platform in the past 6 months, you will have already known that city girls got exposed, or their homophobic tweets got uncovered, all the bigoted shit that they have said. Young Miami's new Breakfast Club interview is not really that surprising because we already know the shit that they've been saying and how they think. And of course there are people on Twitter talking about, oh girl, y'all love when hood and authentic girls come on the scene, y'all be standing, but then when they show you who they are because they're hood and authentic, y'all get mad. I'm just like, why does being hood have to line up with ignorance? Like, girl, why are y'all so convinced that people from the hood are stupid? I don't understand that shit. Who convinced y'all of that shit? Because y'all really believe in that shit. Like, without any examination, without thinking that shit through, y'all automatically, oh well girl, hood girls are stupid, so why would you expect her to say anything smart? Like, what? What are y'all talking about? If you're not aware, Young Miami, she, instead of worrying about the people that she needs to get
flew out
to her location, she went ahead and went on the Breakfast Club, honey, and she said, girl, if I see any gayness in my kid, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. That's what she said. She was just like, girl, I just want my kids to not be gay. She brought herself to that particular platform, and if you that platform is perfect for ignorance, it's perfect for stupidity, because all Angela fucking Minnie Mouse Yee is gonna do is agree with the two shitty ass men that have the microphones in front of their fucking mouth just ready to spew some dumb shit. So if you want to say idiotic things, all you have to do is take your ass to the Breakfast Club and it will be exalted, praised, and highlighted. So she definitely put herself on the right platform, and especially because you can see the comments underneath it. Breakfast Club, the Shade Room, all of that, they cultivate those type of audiences, those bigoted type of people who are loud and mad as fuck about racism, but will step on black people if they're, LGBT. I mean, y'all are so angry, racism! But y'all will destroy your own people if they're fucking LGBT. So the question I now ask parents around the world is if they would prefer to have a gay kid or a dead one. And it's that simple. When the kid comes into this world, he is what he is, just like how I was what I was, regardless of how many straight people I saw fucking making out on TV, regardless of how many of y'all straight ass marriages I saw crash and burn, no matter how much y'all were holding hands in the fucking hallway around my ass, I was still gay as hell. Okay, that's exact. I want y'all to understand how deep that shit goes. So when your kid arrives, the T is what the T is. They gay by whatever it is. Okay, and then they grow up understanding that about themselves, even if they have to hide that from the world. And then they hear your ass talking like Young Miami's ass. They hear their parents talking like Young Miami, talking about, well, girl, what the hell going on, bitch? I don't want no gay kids. I can't have no gay kids. And just like, girl, sis, you have a gay kid. Okay, there's so many people. There's so many gay people who lived under their parents' house while they said that shit. It's just like, girl, you have a whole gay kid while you're over here, ranting and raving about how the world is messed up because of gays. Girl, you have a whole gay kid. Okay, so some of y'all lives are so pathetically sad. Some of your lives are so boring, washed up, and tired that you decide to have a mini-me, you decide to have a clone and try and live vicariously through that kid. You try and direct their life as if they're not a whole ass human being on their own. Now what's interesting is that there are some people who get angry at us calling this shit out. As I said, there are a whole bunch of people in the Breakfast Club comments talking about that's her kid, and that's if she wants to raise him that way, that's how it goes. There's so many people who are just like, well girl, if all these celebrities are doing this shit and you're cutting them off, will you cut off your homophobic family members? Would you, because your grandmama, your mama, all y'all family members homophobic, you're gonna cut them off too? And I'm just like, straight people are so out of the loop that they have no idea how privileged they are. Y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea how it feels to live without your blood. You can't fathom cutting your blood off because that's nothing you ever had to consider. Some of our gay asses never had blood. What are you talking about? While y'all were twirling around to pose on FX, half the reason those houses were constructed in the first place, half the reason those ballroom scenes were built up so heavily in the first place was because you straight parents, y'all straight people left our gay asses out in the street to die because society convinced you that a dead kid was better than having a gay one. So you left us on the street and we built our own communities, and now y'all got to kiki and laugh in the living room watching Pose on FX, not knowing that one of the big reasons that shit exists in the first place is because of pain. It's because y'all left us. It's because of our marginalization. So while y'all were, and it's the same shit that y'all do, because I'm sure that these city girls the rest of these people who are like them talking about, well, girl, I have a, gay shoe shiner, I have a gay dog walker, I have a gay makeup artist, I have a gay choir director. Y'all can't even understand. Y'all are so blinded by your hatred that you can't even understand that that's the same exact language that white people are using about us when when we're talking about racism. When we bring up racism, they're talking about, well, girl, I have black friends, I have a black fiance, I have a black half brother, so how could I be racist? And y'all, like, that's literally the exact same type of rhetoric that you're using. You're using white people's racism built ass rhetoric to give your homophobia some authority. And it's crazy that y'all will twirl around in gay people's faces and talk about shading and reading and voguing and yes ma'am honey, yes God do my makeup, bitch beat my face, all type of shit. But when your own flesh and blood is asking to be seen and heard and not fucking abused and beaten for what they are, y'all can't do it. Y'all can't do it. And I'm not stupid. I know that being gay in this world is difficult. I know that it's not something that people would ask for, especially based off of how y'all love to treat us. So parents worry about their child, if they are gay, if their child is gay, just worrying about their child and, surviving in this crazy society, enduring all types of abuse. That is completely different than saying, girl, I don't want no gay kid. I'm just like, girl, what is going on? If you sit your ass down and you want to have a kid, you need to accept the reality that they're going to be their own person. There's so many kids who are struggling and they're trying to fit into parents' mold for who they expect them to be, and it's just like, girl, y'all had the chance to live your fucking life. Like, y'all had the chance to live, to do what y'all had to do. Don't get mad at y'all kids. Don't put that shit on your kids' lives to go ahead and live up to some standards that half y'all can't even live up to your goddamn selves. That's what I want. That's what I want y'all to do, okay? While y'all, this shit is fucking child abuse. If y'all were born into this planet, y'all straight as hell, and the only thing you saw around you was gayness. The only thing you saw around you was gayness, and people were telling you that you would burn in hell if you were straight and all this bullshit. You would have a completely different mindset. You would understand. Suddenly, you would understand how people are feeling, how the LGBT community feels every time y'all get up there. I mean, I saw there was 2 pastors this week talking about, and I don't know why gays continue to sit on that pew and be disrespected like that, girl. I could never. I was forced to earlier in my life, but bitch, now that I can make my own goddamn decisions, I would never go back. Like, they sitting there just displaying the homophobia for everybody to see. And they claim when these people die, when these suicide, when these people are bullied, when these people are, killed, that's when all the, oh, what could we have done? Oh, it's so sad, these young people, girl, y'all don't care about us. y'all do not care about us. So we just gonna have to build something for ourselves, as usual, god damn it. And what's hilarious to me is that homophobia came from colonization, okay? Because I want y'all to look back in the history of that whole ass continent of Africa. I want y'all to look back in the history of Native Americans and how they treated the LGBT community, what they call two-spirited individuals. Before colonization came, homosexuality was looked at as completely different. Okay, that's why in a lot of the countries in Africa, there's extreme homophobia, even in the Caribbean. All that thinking was beat into people and passed down. And like a lot of things, colorism, like a lot of things, we internalize that shit as black people, and we use that as, trying to get some type of dominance over our own community. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we cannot be fighting. We cannot be fighting to be recognized as human beings while taking that right away from the very people in our own communities. How are you going to be getting dragged by racism? How are you going to be getting shat on by, white supremacy? And you're waving your arms in protest while also standing on the necks of the LGBT community. You cannot get anywhere divided like that, because when it comes to heterosexual people, no matter who the fuck y'all are, I have to be skeptical, because y'all will play in my face. Y'all will laugh under my videos. y'all will talk about, yes girl, yes honey, and sit up here and say, well girl, that's her child. There will be comments underneath this video talk about, well girl, that's her child. If she wants to raise him like that, that's how it is. And it's just like, y'all can't understand it. You don't have a say. That's what kills y'all. Y'all don't have a say. It's not how you raise somebody, how you choose to raise somebody. That's who they are. It don't matter how you choose to raise somebody, they still gonna be a nigga. It don't matter how you choose to raise somebody, they still gonna be their sexual orientation. Y'all can spew this shit if y'all want to, but I want you to understand that every time that you say some shit like that, I know that you're complicit in the suicides, in the bullying, in the killings, in the hate crimes that the LGBT community is experiencing. It does start with rhetoric. It does start with how you speak and what you say to people, how you treat people. That's where it starts, and it continues, and it works this all the way up to government policy, dictating how we can live or can't live our lives, who we can and can't marry, protections that we can and can't get from fucking medical, to employment. So while y'all are talking about, I just don't want my kid to be gay, I want y'all to understand how deep this shit goes. It just doesn't stop at your stupid, ignorant perspective or opinion that lacks foresight or research or any type of logic. It doesn't just stop there. It infects your kid's mind. That rhetoric infects the kids around them, and they bully the LGBT. And you cannot separate yourself if you're saying shit like this from all these dead ass fucking kids. You can't separate yourself from these dead ass kids who decided that, hearing this shit, experiencing this shit that y'all are saying, experiencing the bullying was more painful than death. You won't be able to separate yourself, and you will be looking in the mirror. If some of y'all have fucking kids and y'all preaching this bullshit, spewing it every day, and the kid can't take it no more, y'all are going to be looking like Boo Boo the fucking fool and childless. So keep talking that shit, and you can have a good goddamn evening. At least try.